What the fuck is bunny hopping? Bunny hopping in CSGO is the act of using air strafing to gain velocity so that you can get from one location to another quicker. So what air strafing basically means is I'm going to be moving my mouse in a certain direction. So I'm going to say I want to air strafe to the left. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my mouse, I'm going to smoothly bring my mouse to the left, and at the same time I'm going to be holding my left strafe key. So I'm going to do both in tandem, and it's going to look like that. But I'm going to be in the air. So if I'm dropping off and I'm doing that air strafing, it looks like that. You want to do a nice smooth continuous motion, and you'll linger in the air a little bit longer, and you'll also gain velocity. Now I'll also want to do the same but to the right. So I'm going to move my mouse to the right, and I'm also going to strafe to the right at the same time. So I'm going to combine those two while in the air. Okay, so now that I'm kind of getting the hang of air strafing, that doesn't explain what bunny hopping is. So bunny hopping is when you do the left strafe and the right strafe in rapid succession. So just jumping around here, it's not like how Frankie on PC does it, which is just like this or whatever the fuck he was doing. It's actually moving your mouse, strafing in the same direction that you're moving your mouse, and then as you're about to hit the floor, when you're like from a jump, you're gonna jump again and strafe and look in the opposite direction. So I'll be holding just the strafe keys. You don't hold W, you don't need to run forwards, you run forwards until you hit max velocity, and then that's the end of holding W. That's it, you're done. So I'll hold W, and then it's just a matter of strafing to the left and moving the mouse to the left, landing. As I'm landing, I'm going to be jumping, and I'm going to be looking to the right and strafing to the right. And now it's a lot easier to bunny hop on 128 tick, and very difficult on 64 tick. So right now I'm on my own server, like offline server. It's 128 tick, so it's going to be easier for me to bunny hop. If you're on a Valve matchmaking server, it's going to be a lot harder. But if you're playing any of the other services, ESC, Civo, Faceit, or private servers and LAN servers, it's most likely going to be 128 tick, so it'll be a lot easier to actually get the hang of bunny hopping. Now, bunny hopping, once you get the hang of it, can be very useful in certain situations. Like you won't really think that pros are using it all that much because it doesn't look like it, but bunny hopping allows you to do very cool tricks, and I'll show you a couple of the things that you can do on Dust 2 with bunny hopping. So one of the things that I like to use as an entry fragger with bunny hopping is just making myself as hard a target to hit as possible. It's a lot harder to hit a target that's just jumping around like this than it is to hit someone who's just running in a straight line. It just simply is. So if I'm doing a gangbang on Dust 2, which is a smoke for the corner and a smoke for CT spawn, anybody who's playing at the car is going to be smoked off. Anyone CT spawn isn't really going to be able to see me. So with a flash, as a flash is coming over to get anyone who's just in the other spots that aren't smoked off, I'm going to run up, I'm going to jump off this box, and then again into CT spawn. And it's one fluid continuous motion, and makes myself a very hard target to hit, very hard target to track. And now if people do see me and they see me jumping into spawn, it means that they're going to be distracted with me now looking down here and trying to aim at me. It's going to allow my teammates to just run up behind me and get the kill, because I'm just such a huge distraction. But on top of being just a distraction, I'm not like cannon fodder. I'm not just some dummy, like this harmless dummy that's just running across here like, hey, I'm over here, shoot me. Because I'm an easier target to kill if I'm doing that. I'm making myself a difficult target to hit, staying alive, but allowing my teammates to go and get an entry kill on whoever is shooting at me. So using this bunny hop technique to get off of cat bricks is very good. And it's something that you'll need to practice to get the hang of when you need to do your first jump and when do you need to do the second jump, because you don't want to land up here. That's not good, because if you're landing up here, you're just a stationary open target exactly where they're aiming. So you want to clear that area. You want to be able to jump and clear over it, and you need to make sure that you're getting the bunny hops and the strafing necessary to do it. So another thing that I like to do with bunny hopping is going for certain picks with an op. So I'm really rusty at bunny hopping right now. I'm not going to hit really good hops right now, but I'll show you the general idea behind it, behind hitting your hop and behind not hitting your hop. So if I'm coming towards long, And if you remember the map timings, it takes me about 8 seconds to get the long doors as a terrorist, 7 seconds for counter terrorist to get to the opposite corner. So if I want to get 1 second off the time it takes for me to get to the long doors, to the corner, to pick the CTs, I'm going to want to incorporate a bunny hop into it. So as I'm coming through these doors, remember, you run faster with the knife out, you run max move speed. If I'm bunny hopping, I'll go a little bit beyond that. So I'll keep my knife out for as long as I possibly can, and I'll switch to my op in the middle of the jump, so that when I'm jumping over towards long, I can get a little bit of speed when I get to the corner here, and then I can just pick off the CT as they're coming around to peak. They're going to think that they get there before me, but since I hit a bunny hop, I'm going to get there before they do. And that is an example of not hitting your jump. So I just jumped in there, and because I didn't hit the timing on the jump, my knees like buckled up, and then I dropped my move speed all the way down, and now I have to start from like the bottom and climb my move speed up. So it's very important that you hit your timings with it, and you need to know when do you pull out your op so that you can still maintain the max speed, hit the bunny hop, but also have your op out and scoped by the time that the enemy is peeking you and you're peeking the enemy. Now there are other ways that you can also incorporate bunny hopping, but these are just a couple of basic examples of it. There are some other tricks that can help you with your bunny hopping as well though. So if you feel like your bunny hop is getting a little bit slow, you can use things on the map that will help you increase your speed. Things that I like to do when I'm bunny hopping is using high rises. So this ledge, for example, is going to be a little bit higher. The higher it is, it means the more distance I'm traveling in the air, which means the longer my air strafe, which means the higher velocity I get. So when I land and I jump again, I'm going to have a higher velocity going into that next jump. So jumping off this is going to allow me to get a little bit of speed on my bunny hop, whereas just doing it on a normal plane, it's not going to really get me that much speed unless I hit all the jumps properly. Now there's other things you can do that emulate that. For example, if I'm going really slow with my bunny hop, what I can do is I can crouch near the end of one of my hops, and that will give me the little bit of time in the air, in the air strafe, that will get me a little bit more velocity so that I can actually land my next jump. So crouching before you land, and then uncrouching and then hopping. So I'm crouching, I'm standing. I'm crouching, I'm standing. So it doesn't look like it, but what you're doing is like, so if this is the floor and I'm running, I jump, I crouch, and then like I'm about to land while crouch and I stand up again. That's basically what's happening, and then I go straight into a jump. That's what's happening. So that will get me a little bit of velocity, so it'll help me with my bunny hopping. But in general, what you're going to want to do is it's not easy. Going into KZ maps, going into bunny hop maps will help you practice. You'll just want to go into a server and just air strafe back and forth, and figure out like how to actually hit your hops, and you'll understand like this is not bunny hopping right now. This is me jumping left to right and not getting any speed at all. This is not good. This is not an example of a good bunny hop. A good bunny hop would be when you're actually getting speed, not like this, not like that either. That's good for weaving. That's still not bad because you're not losing speed. Like if someone's running alongside me, they're not going to get from one location to the other any quicker than me, but it's going to make myself a harder target to hit. What you're going to want to do is actually land the bunny hop where if you're coming off a certain location, you can come around that corner a lot quicker. So that, what I just did there, is a bunny hop because I could get from one location to another quicker. But this is just fancy. This is just fancy jumping back and forth. Again, you'll feel it in game when you're actually hitting the hops and going the extra distance as opposed to just jumping and looking left and right like an idiot. Anyways, hope that helps you understand what bunny hopping is. Good luck trying it, and hope you all the best.